y'all, it's Allie. I have had a little time to, well, okay, let me just say something, okay? I got all dolled up this morning. I had a friend who's a physical therapist and did some vestibular therapy training come over and try to do some maneuvers on me to help with the vertigo problem I've been having, the PBPPB. I posted about it today on Patreon. It actually made things worse, I thought. I don't know if it's better or not. All I know is like an hour and a half later, after all my makeup was done and everything, and I'm trying to film this intro for a video about my beautiful rings, I had to literally like stop the camera and go puke. It was bad. I was so nauseated. I still am a little bit nauseated, not near as bad as I was. I had read from one of the comments that antihistamines are supposed to help. So I took one. I took some, I don't know what it was. It was some sort of antihistamine for like nasal cavities, pressures, whatever. And I started feeling better. So I don't know if like the pressure off my ear is helping. I don't know. But I felt well enough to film this because I really, really wanted to film something. It's not often that I get makeup on to like, and it's hard to do makeup when you feel off balance. Like, holy mackerel, to put eyelashes on when you're feeling off balance is ridiculous. I posted a picture of this little cup with some of my favorite pens that I use. And I want easy access to them. And I figured, you know what? It might be a good idea to do a favorite pens video because I do get asked a lot like, oh, what's the white pen you used? Or what's this pen you used? So I just figured and I'm sorry about all the in and out, like my kids are playing with neighborhood kids. I also have a really good friend, the one who actually told me about Patreon and told me to start with Patreon. He's in the next room with my husband doing guitar stuff. Thanks, Elijah. I learned about Patreon from him. But so if you hear guitar noises and the door and children, my home is alive right now. Anyway, I just wanted to give you all a video on some of my favorite pens that I use in my art and my journaling, and I thought that might be helpful. So I hope y'all enjoy this. Thank you so much for bearing with me with all this crazy stuff. Right now, I'm not feeling too dizzy, which is really good. So maybe those little crystal things are back where they were, like where they started. I don't know. I am taking it easy, and I did feel pretty darn good to do this. So hopefully nobody's too mad about me doing this video. Mama, don't be mad at me. Okay, I love y'all, and I'm just gonna flip to the table side now. All right, so I've got my studio lights on and just wanted to again share with you some of my favorite pens because I get asked about them. One of the ones that I get asked about a lot is the white pen that I use for my journaling, and this one is just the Signo Uni-ball Signo. You can get the broad one. I've tried both, and I don't know if there's much of a difference, honestly. So let me see if I can zoom in. This one is the UM153, and the other one is the Signo broad, which is lost on my desk right now. Oh, here it is. Ooh, and I just stabbed myself. Ooh, look at that. You want to see something gross? Can you see that? That lead just went into my skin. Look at that. Ooh, yeah, that's not fun. Add that to my list of ailments. Good grief. This is an adorable pouch that I got from Happy Marigold. This one is the Signo Broad. And this one is the UM153. Honestly, I don't know the difference. Like, truly. I don't know if I have felt a difference or not. I do know that when I'm using a white gel pen, I do try to have it kind of a, you know, this one's kind of older, but let me see. So this is a little bit older and a little bit out of ink. So that's the UM153, and this one is the broad. Take that out. I think I like the broad better, honestly. And that's the one that I have. So that's the one most people get, honestly, is the Signo broad. But it's a very nice pigmented white gel pen. You can use it for highlights. I use it for doodling a lot. I use it for my marks when I'm marking, like in my little, you know, this kind of stuff. Just loved using it for marks mainly and doodles. So that's one of my favorite pens that I use. Another pen that I really, really enjoy is the big fat Fude ball pen. This is one that I really enjoy using. And this gives you, again, like it states, it's 1.5. It gives you really fat lines, like super big lines. That's what these ones I made with. Now, the one thing to note with this pen, it is not permanent. It is not semi-permanent. It is so not permanent. Like when you put water over it, it will move. So you really have to make this like a last step if you're doing some mark making on your stuff. Like even putting, like you can see on this page right here, putting acrylic paint over that will move it. Even though acrylic paint, you know, is not straight up water, it is a water-based medium, so it moves it. So, but I do love that pen for the bigger marks and doodles. I think I did those doodles with them. So I have my Signo Broad and the Fude Ball 1.5. The other one that I really enjoy is this Slicci. This is what I was using before. I believe Courtney, she suggested this Tikky something, whatever. It's still not permanent though, and I can't even find it. Oh, here it is, right here. I like the Slicci. It is like a super fine line. Let me see if I can zoom in and show you. So I'm gonna do a couple marks here, but it's just a very fine line. And I a lot of times will do my messy circles with the Slicci. It's not permanent though. It's kind of semi-permanent. So it does kind of move a little bit, but not as bad as that Fude ball. So that one is a point, I think it's like 0.25, I think. It is a very, very fine line, like super duper fine when you just go, when you don't, you know what I mean? Like when you just use it regularly and don't make it like a bigger mark. That's a Slicci. And I think it's made by Pentel, actually. So you can get that one, I believe, on jet pens. You can get any kind of pen on jet pens mostly. And then this is the one that Courtney at the Little Ink recommended for line work. And it's the Tikky Graphic 0.1 Rotoring. And it's not permanent. I've tried it. It isn't. I wish it was. But you can do some, you know, little doodles here and there. But it is kind of fine, which is good. So there's the fine line from that one. Let's see, do a couple more for you. So it's pretty fine. One of my favorites, honestly, so that one I really haven't played with much, but, and I'm going to put links for all the pens down below for y'all, but I do like the Slicci. I have played with that one, and that one's fun. Yeah, it is 0.25. Oh my gosh, look how tiny. 0.25. And then one of the ones that I really enjoy that is permanent, but you have to be careful with it. This is the Faber-Castell PITT Artist Pen in the extra small. It's the extra small nib. So it's really tiny. I mean, you can kind of see that little tiny nib. So it's a very small nib, and it's India ink. So it's not going anywhere. So sometimes I will use, it's hard because it will gunk up though. Like you have to be careful and not use it. Like this one might be one of the ones, you have to be very careful using it over acrylic paint. Because when you do your messy circles and stuff, if the acrylic paint, you can do it before you do the acrylic paint, you know, but if you do it after, sometimes this nib, it's like a felt or whatever, it gets kind of clogged up. So I have gone through a couple of these, I'm not gonna lie, but I do love it that it's permanent. So sometimes I'll start my messy circles with this pen, do the acrylic paint over it like I did in my tutorial not too long ago, and then I'll finish it up with the Slicci. So those are some of my favorite pens. I mean, is there any more here? I mean, of course, my favorite is like what I journal with, which is the Lamy Safari. I have a couple of different variations of these. This is the petrol blue one. I have a couple of them laying around. This one was a gift to me. This one I bought at the very beginning. I have like a limited edition neon yellow one that I don't even use anymore. I use an extra fine nib. And I use Noodler's Lexington Gray, and this is a cartridge that you can get for the Lamy. Sorry, I'm getting kind of dizzy again because I'm looking up and down. You can get this cartridge and then fill it with your own ink. You don't have to use the Lamy inks. That's with the Noodler's Lexington Gray ink, and I use that for all my journaling. I have used that for my journaling pretty much from the beginning, and it's bulletproof. The one thing I have discovered, and Kaylin, actually, we were talking about this, is that if you journal over watercolor or acrylic, it kind of, well, that one's not moving, so that's good. But I think it's acrylic maybe. I can't remember what it was. But if you journal over acrylic, it might move. Let me do a test just to see. Okay, right here. So maybe it just needs to be dry. That one's not moving. Maybe I just tested it before when it wasn't super like set, you know? But it seems like it's doing pretty good right there. But anywho, yeah, that's the ink that I use, and that's the pen that I use for my journaling. And so anything that I'm using for slick surfaces with like the pictures and stuff, I will use the India ink for, so it won't move. There is an alcohol-based pen that I used to use. I don't think I use it anymore. But yeah, I think that's it. I think for that, I don't think I have any other pens that I use often enough to say that they're my favorite. So that's it. My Lamy Safari for journaling. My Uni-ball Signo Broad for mark making and doodles over dark watercolor or dark acrylic or anything like that. My Slicci pen for really, really fine lines, and when I'm doing my messy circles or messy frames. It is not permanent, so be careful with that. And this Fude ball is great for at the very end if you want to add some doodles or something. You got some really thick lines with this one. And then the Faber-Castell India ink and extra small, it's awesome for permanent marks and also on slick surfaces. And then if you want to go into planning pens, I guess I really do like the Coletto pens that you can do the different colors in the barrel, and that helps me keep track of what I need to get done and kind of compartmentalize like things I need to do in the day and whatever. So anyway, that's that. Okay, y'all, what are your favorite pens? I want to know what your favorite pens are. I might have not discovered them, and I would love to know, what do you think about these pens? Is there any other ways that you use them? I would love to know. I really want this to be a place of community, and so that it helps me when y'all, participate and give good ideas, and everybody reads. I know everyone's reading the comments, so yeah, let's make this place a place of community. My little scribe tribe, I love you. I love you so much. And thanks so much again for bearing with me as I'm trying to get better. Feeling a bit nauseous right now, so I'm going to stop. And I love y'all so much. Bye.